Today we're headed to Southern Skillet in Hohenwald, Tennessee. My guest is Jason Wyatt. This is
Pilot Eats. Pilot Eats. We're gonna do it. Pilot Eats Food.
Ready to go to Hohenwald?
Let's go.
Let's go to Hohenwald.
Let's go.
Lewisburg, Ellington, 3559 Hotel. We're taking runway 2, and we will depart to the west.
Get this booty up and going. Nice and smooth, man.
This is a good time of day to fly.
Yeah. Ain't no Cessna. 172 straight tail, I tell you.
Cessnas are beautiful airplanes, though, man. Before this, most of my time was in a 172, 152. I had some time in Diamond 40s as well.
Oh, really?
Which are great little airplanes. But once you've flown this fast,
that's the deal.
This plane, if you pick up a tailwind, it's gonna. I've seen 190.
Oh, come on.
Yeah.
I love the name too, Booney. Think of two things when I think of Booney. I'm a songwriter, so I like to picture things.
Yeah.
Number one, the first picture I get is, a moon made out of eggs and ham. I'm not sure why. I think it's because of Denny's.
I was just going to say, this sounds like a Denny's reference to me.
It is. Moon's over my hammy. The other one I can't get away from is, 10,000 feet, 200 miles an hour going by with your butt cheeks, with your pants down, your butt cheeks up against the window.
If we were close enough to an aircraft to do that to them, it might be the last thing you do.
That is true. Now, I'm assuming that the Mile High Club is hard to do in this airport.
Holy cow. You just went right there. We just took off. Ladies and gentlemen, Jason Wyatt.
If you haven't thought about the Mile High Club, people probably don't even know what that is.
Oh, most people know what that is.
Okay.
All right, we've got about 10 minutes en route here still. Jason Wyatt, tell us what you do.
What do I do? It slightly changes over time. After I got off the road of playing touring with the country band, I kind of went back. I started producing and doing multiple things. Obviously, in the industry, sometimes you have to find ways to skin the cat, more than one,
Yep.
So I think, my history has been in the church worship. Then I actually got out of it. I got kind of like, I want to be in the mainstream music flow because I wanted to be in that world. So when I left Washington State and went to West Texas to go back to music school, later in life, at 31 with 3 kids and a wife, how smart is that? I went, hey, honey, let's move the family across the country and go back to music school because, actually, it's funny, we talked about it the other day. I don't regret it. I did not want to at least say I tried to pursue something that I felt like I could do that I enjoyed,
Yep.
But that journey, getting out of West Texas, I love West Texas, actually. I went to music school there, and we went, where we go? We go back to Washington, we go to Austin, we go to Nashville, and in that journey, it brought us into Thompson Station area where we're at right now. But
yep.
That was the beginning of probably the hard, not to be heavy, but the hardest time of my life. Just navigating, because we came out of the 90s. You were around the 90s.
Yep.
Early 2000s when the spigot was still coming out with water, lots of water, and we kind of came into not a great time when the music industry started sucking on the tailpipe. But man, I tell you, there's something about sticking through things in the music industry. As hard as it's been, I think though if I would have stayed doing what I was doing in Washington, I probably would have been very miserable. Even though this has been really, really hard. The journey's been really, really tough. I actually it's pretty fun. I get to be a worship pastor, leader, whatever, for a great place that I love now, and work with killer musicians. And again, it's not about the ego, and I just enjoy that. And then I love to make music in session. I mean, that's work with some of my heroes.
My dad, he didn't do exactly what you did, but it was similar in the sense that I grew, and I've told people this, I grew up in the studio and a church. He was a music minister, choir director, and he was a session musician.
Oh my gosh.
So you have that in common with him, even though your specific lane is a little different. But it's a very unique combination to be proficient in both of those streams because very, very different animals. Very different animals. Hohenwald traffic, Mooney 3559 Hotel. We are 4 miles to the north out of 2,600 feet, and we're going to be setting up left downwind for runway 2. This will be full stop, Hohenwald.
Are you going downwind, or is that an upwind leg and you're going to land this way?
I'm going to be going downwind. We'll land coming back the other direction.
Gotcha.
All right, gears coming down. The flaps. Hang on. How to land an airplane.
Perfect. You're on your game. Oh my, what? Did you hear that? It was perfect. The stall thing was just gonna click, click. That was nice, man. Oh, fun. Fly as good as you can play drums.
It's always nice when a fellow pilot likes your landing.
My gosh.
All right, let's go get some food, Jason.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's rock.
All right, today's crew car at Hohenwald, Tennessee is a 2007 Mercury Mountaineer. I don't have anything really massive to point out, nothing embarrassing or funny, just a car with the Lewis County Airport insignia on the door, and we're gonna go get some food at this time. Southern Skillet is a place where you can have good home-cooked food at an affordable price. Jason and I loved our breakfast, but the lunch menu looked pretty good too. They're open Monday to Thursday, 5 a.m. to 2 p.m., Friday, 5 a.m. to 7 p.m., and weekends, 6 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Are we ready to order, or do we need to food?
I really feel strongly that we could be ready.
Yep.
What are you doing?
I think I'm going to do the Philly cheesesteak omelet.
I'll do the 2 scrambled with cheese and bacon, well done, and then just 2 pancakes. Thank you.
Thank you.
I have a good feeling about this.
If you could do this it'd be hard. If you could do this for a living and fly around the country and do this, come on. If they said to you, you got an option, I'm going to give you a year and you can fly around the country and go to these little breakfast restaurants, but you can't be recording. Would you do it? We saw it all over the family.
I mean, it'd be real tempting. I've done music for, 30 years. It's never, for those of us who do stuff like this, it's never totally out of your system.
Yep.
But, there does come a point for every musician where you realize for most musicians, I should say, where you realize maybe I've done most of what I came here to do, and I should make way for other folks to do it. And that's particularly true for drummers, I think, because it's such a physical instrument.
That's interesting.
Oh,
Sometimes.
look at that. Mother of pearl, thank you. Wow. Okay, she's gone and brought my eggs.
You're going to have to try some of this too if you...
I'm not a biscuits and gravy guy. I know that's sacrilegious.
It is a little bit.
I didn't grow up in the South. So biscuits and gravy. Like, I made biscuits and blackberry preserves guy.
Oh, okay. That's a little Knott's Berry Farmish.
Oh,
A little Knott's Berry Farm.
wow. That is the little inside baseball right there.
That is.
Yeah, that's
remember that.
the other Disneyland in SoCal.
Oh my Is this still around?
Knott's Berry Farm? I think
some more
so.
coffee, man.
Oh, yeah, we'll take this out.
When do we participate in eating this right now?
I mean, right now. Thank you, Lord, for this food.
Yes, let's go.
That's what I would say.
There is some fun. It's funny. There is also. I remember I gave the Nashville. Someone gave me a call for doing a vocal session and
To sing or to produce?
just to sing. And I went out and I had done quite a few sessions. But I spent time learning theory. I love theory, but I'm learning the staff how to sight and read. But I didn't really put the time into it. I didn't. So I walked into the session and he put staff music in front of me.
Oh.
And I,
panic?
faked it. I tried to fake it, right? And you can't fake it. You can't fake sight reading staff music. There's no way. And so I started in on it. I felt terrible for him. I could tell, I've been in the position when I'm trying to produce somebody and they're not getting it. And he's gritting his teeth behind the door.
Yep.
And I am trying to sing these notes and I'm hitting and missing on these things. And he was so kind to me. He goes, He goes, all right, well, thank you. Can tell. He's like, well, thank you so much. He's like, I don't want to waste any more time on this. I got to get the next guy.
Was it just you, or were you with a group?
It was a gal. It was me and another girl singing, and I walked down and went, oh man, I felt so bad.
Yeah, and you have that. Well, that's it. My career's over.
Exactly.
We've all had that moment.
Oh, I'm like, they're gonna tell everybody. He was very gracious. Let's go.
Yeah,
Come on.
administering to you in a
Yes, it
powerful
is.
way.
It is. Power of
Yeah, I'm
the
trying to talk to you in language you understand since you're a worship leader.
You do.
So I have no complaints about this food.
No.
So what's it? Is that meat and peppers and?
Philly cheesecake.
Oh, it's a Philly. Okay.
That meat is great. The onions are great. I will probably peel these onions later on. Something about cooked onions that gives you gas. Tell you, man, though, in the early years when I first came to town, I hate to use this word, but you feel like you prostitute yourself out in music because you're so hungry. You got to feed your family. And I remember two things that I did, and I'm very thankful for them, really. But you don't know what you're doing. You don't know what to do when you don't know what you're doing. And I remember being up in Thompson Station, up in Canterbury, which is a development. And I remember working on Pro Tools and getting a call from Swine. Remember Swine? He's a bass player, and I sang. He asked me to sing a couple of tunes. Mississippi Queen, Godzilla, There's a Highway. There's a bunch of those kind of songs. It was not great money, but it was the experience. Like, you're trying to figure things out. Then I moved into the prostitution network, which is
Not real prostitution.
not real prostitution. You know, you're trying to feed your family. You just take kind of whatever you get.
Take
But
the work,
I had this fella, and God love him. I really do love this man. He's a great dude. He lives out in Northern California, and he would send me songs
To sing on?
to sing on, and actually he would just give me lyrics. And so what I would do is I would create a song out of it, sing it, put a guitar to it, and do a little work tape to it.
I mean, now you're co-writer now, technically.
Yeah, but so
Okay.
some of the songs were "Ride on Me." It's kind of a dirty old man.
That was the title.
"Ride on Me."
Ride on me.
The one that I remember the most was
That's a song from the perspective of a car, I'm sure. He's surely he doesn't mean.
yeah.
That's a song.
No,
Like,
he had more.
what would it be like to be a Ford Thunderbird? Hey, ride on me.
But he gave me this one song that I'll never forget. It's called "Hormones in Control." Okay, and hey, listen.
Ride on me.
Oh, my wife started going, babe. All he's talking about is sexual things, and he's 69 years old, 68 years old. Well, I remember the lyric of it, and I can sing it now, and it's brilliant. It's hormones in control. If it weren't for them, I'd be shy, but now I'm bold. It'd be a boring work. It'd be a boring world if God didn't make these hormones, but He did. Life is great. Reason why I stay up late. Hormones in control. So
I need to hear the melody to this. So far, I'm not quite buying the idea that this is a genius song.
but I think back to that
Don't
song.
get me wrong. I moved the world for him.
You need to meet. He's from California. You need to meet him. But those are the things. In a lot of ways, I'm very thankful that guys like that wanted me to work at him.
That's how we all, dude. That is almost everybody that came into this industry came into it with something like that. My version of that story. Over the last, I can't remember the last time I read a handwritten staff chart, but before everything was, orchestrated, written in a computer in Finale or something. My dad, for instance, he hand wrote all of his orchestral scores. Wow. Big yellow paper. Each line represented a different section, and then a music copyist would go and look at that and transcribe, write it down on for each individual player.
Got it.
Usually with a calligraphy pen and rulers.
word.
It was an art form.
Yeah.
My dad also wrote all of his scores untransposed. We call them C scores. Each instrument, a lot of instruments are not in the clef that I know, like viola, for instance.
Yes.
A lot of the brass instruments have their own, it's a different.
Yeah, I
so
remember that,
the copyist in that case would have to transpose.
But he's doing it, or she's
My
doing
dad,
it.
yes, when I was about 17, my dad was like, if you're going to do this for real, you've got to get some better theory training. And he knew I'd been sort of lax on I practiced what I wanted to, not what anybody told me to, right?
Yeah.
So he said, you're going to start copying my charts. We moved to Tennessee and I knew how to do it. So I started working for this music copyist in Nashville. He paid me like $5 an hour at first just to run his copy machine. And then if he got in, like if it was an all-nighter and he didn't have enough people, he'd say, okay, you're going to copy these parts of the score. It was awful. The hard work of having to look at somebody's score, which in some cases is not particularly legible. You're kind of looking at the notes going, man, I hope that's an E flat. You know,
Interesting.
because any mistake that you make gets played and takes time for the orchestrator to go, hey, bar 67 cellos, that was supposed to be an E natural. He wrote it as an E flat. And you're like, well, I thought it, you know, you are under the pressure of, you know, in real time copying this stuff and going, please God, don't let me make a mistake that's going to cost them money tomorrow. Right. So that was my,
Interesting.
you know, dues paying exercise. But it was really, really good. My dad was not wrong in kind of getting certain things into the noggin that I'm not sure I was getting any other way. So, well, should we go fly home?
Mm-hmm.
All right. See you later.
Just being up here, man, it's just
Amazing, isn't it?
it's just that's it. Just being up here.
Okay, your airplane.
Okay. Got it. Oh yeah. Oh wow.
I
Wow,
think I've got it trimmed where you shouldn't have to work too hard.
Yeah. No,
I'm trying to stay. I mean, there you go. I'm sorry, I'm still on the
I'm
rudders.
just curious how it feels.
You have rudders, no brakes over there, so we don't need brakes up here.
I'm just gonna do a little.
Yeah, do your thing. What do you say? Do your feeling?
Do your feeling.
I think that's a Gordon Mode line. Just do your feeling.
That's funny.
Yep.
Wow, man, what a nice feel, man. Like that has got a. Yeah, I feel a little of that. I feel that front pressure.
Yep. Yeah, and that's with it trimmed out pretty aggressively.
Yeah, that's been so long, man, since I've tried to coordinate a nice turn.
But you're on it, man. The ball's right in the middle.
Is it?
Yeah, oh yeah. You're killing it. How long has it been since you flew?
Oh man, it's probably been sadly probably 15 years.
Goodness.
Too long. It's too long, man.
I mean, the ball never left the center.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, nice job. Ellington 59 Hotel turning final. Runway 2 full stop. Lewisburg, Ellington. Gears down. We're going to float. Come on.
Caravan 5 Bravo, it's about 4.5 miles.
Kiss it. Kiss it. Oh! 2 for 2, man.
Yeah, but we floated a little on that one. It wasn't perfect. Well, we did it.
Nice job.
We
That
went
was
to
fun.
Southern Skillet, had a great conversation. Jason Wyatt, my thanks to you.
Oh, thank you, man. Thank you.
My 10 viewers are going to love this.
Yes.
All right, thumbs up for the camera.